Here's how to read body language in conversations. Here's how you can read body language in conversations to better understand what others are really thinking and feeling. I learned how to read body language in conversations and it transformed the way I communicate. Once I started paying attention to people's nonverbal cues, like their postures, facial expressions, gestures, I was able to connect more deeply and respond more effectively. When you learn to read body language, you can tell what people are feeling without them even saying it. This skill will help you navigate conversations so much more than you can possibly imagine, build stronger connections, even resolve conflicts by understanding what's going on beneath the surface. The message in between the lines. You might struggle with conversations where you feel like you're not getting the full picture. Maybe someone says one thing, but their body language suggests something else. We've all experienced that feeling where words don't really quite match the feeling. It just leaves you unsure of how to respond or what they really mean. But a simple tip that will dive in deeper, paying attention to nonverbal cues like eye contact, facial expression can give you a clear sense of what the other person is communicating. Learning to read these cues can completely change how you interact with others. Why body language is so crucial in conversations? It's a key part of our communication. Some experts say to 70% of what we communicate is nonverbal. Our gestures, postures, facial expressions, even the way our eyes look can give away cues about our thoughts and emotions. I used to solely rely on what people said in conversations, not really reading into how they're saying it or what their body looks like. But after I learned to start paying attention to body language and be more conscious in that, I realized that there were some things that were going beneath the surface. For example, I had noticed someone agreeing with me verbally, but their crossed arms or lack of eye contact would tell a different story. The problem with ignoring body language, we only focus on words. We would miss out on the full message. People might say things to avoid confrontation or just to be polite, but their body language can reveal their true feelings. If you ignore these cues, you might misinterpret what they really mean. Imagine you're in a meeting and someone nods along as you speak, but they're slouched in their chair, avoiding eye contact. If you're only listening to their words, you might think that they're actually engaged, but their body language is telling you they're disinterested or even disagreeing with you. Like imagine someone saying like, "Yeah, that sounds great." You look at it as in like, "Oh, like he doesn't really seem that interested." But imagine saying, "Oh, that's great. You seem excited about it. You see the way my eyes popped up. I was open. I wasn't closed off." Some key body language cues to look out for. The solution is to become more aware of body language. By learning these nonverbal signals, you'll learn better of what actually is being communicated. So for eye contact, if someone is avoiding eye contact, they might be anxious, uncomfortable, or even disengaged. On the other hand, strong eye contact can showcase confidence or excitement. Posture, leaning in, would showcase interest, while leaning back and slouching can indicate disinterest or disengagement. Arms and legs, crossed arms and legs can be a sign of defensiveness or discomfort, while open body language can be seen as interested, relaxed, openness, ease. Your facial expressions, a smile, which is pretty obvious, gonna likely show interest, excitement. But if a smile, which can seem friendly at first, is also paired with tense facial expressions, it could indicate a forced politeness. Pay attention to micro expressions, like a brief frown or raised eyebrows, which showcase the true emotions. Like I remember a lot of salespeople tend to mess up on this, especially when they go to in-person events where they're trying to sell their product, and obviously someone's not going to frown at you or be angry at you, but you can obviously see they're politely smiling when you look at them and like, like they don't care. They're not interested. And it's very obvious to you because like you see the way their eyebrows are raised. You know what I mean? The benefits of reading body language in conversations, you'll notice subtle shifts on how people are feeling. It'll allow you to adjust your approach in real time. Whether that means follow-up questions to clarify what they look like or adjusting your tone to match their mood. It can help especially in difficult conversations. For example, if someone says they're fine, but evidently through their body language, they're showing that they're not fine. They're closed off. They're showing disinterest. It's tense. You can probably probe further to get into the root cause or what they're actually feeling and explore from there. Practical tips you can use is just simple observation. Start paying attention to how people act in different settings. Notice their posture, gestures, facial expressions when they're comfortable versus uncomfortable. Look for clusters of cues. Don't just rely on one cue for someone's feelings. Look for clusters. So someone shows closed arms, closed legs, tense face, they might seem disinterested. If they're fidgeting, it might showcase they're uncomfortable. If they're nodding, leaning in, good eye contact, they're likely someone engaged. And one thing that you have to do is just trust your instincts. You're human at the end of the day, and your instincts are very powerful. If something feels off in a situation, if someone feels off in a conversation, like their person's words don't really match what their body language or those nonverbal cues look like, trust that feeling that you have of that misalignment and explore it. Ask open-ended questions or reflect back to what you're sensing. You can ask them like, hey, you seem a little unsure, you know what's going on? And you can use your own body language to influence conversations too. Just as you can read others, they can also read yours. Be mindful of the signals that you are sending. If you're looking to build rapport, use more open body language. Uncrossed arms, face directly at the person. Mirroring the other person's body language is extremely powerful. So to recap, body language is about paying attention to nonverbal cues like eye contact, posture, facial expression. By becoming more aware of these signals, you can understand really what is being communicated and adjust from there. So try it out. When you're out next time in a social setting, pay attention to the other person's body language. Look for clusters, look for individual cues. Observe other people's conversations. The more you'll practice, the better you will become at reading nonverbal cues.